Alright, so I want to start this video first by apologizing because I didn't do my hair before filming, so I look like a doofus, and also because if you hear me sniffling, I just had some General Tso's spicy chicken for lunch, and I'm a little bitch, so of course I got a sniffle because it mildly cleared out my sinuses. So what I actually want to start this video with is, you read the title, you know that we're talking about Rise of Skywalker. Don't worry, this one won't be as long because I do eventually want to do a full scripted video for every Star Wars movie. And I also want to apologize because I'm breaking the rules of this series, which the idea was that it would be games and movies. I might do games later on, but it's going to be movies that I've never seen before, movies and shows. And I watched the movie in theaters back in December, so I have seen it. I'm just finally watching it again. And so, I'm watching it anyway. I might as well talk about it for 10 minutes. But anyway, what I really want to start the video with, before I actually talk about the movie, is I want you guys to understand something. I love Star Wars, as you can see by my Baby Yoda shirt. I love Star Wars, as you can see by my Attack of the Clones tin, which, if I could open it, comes with a little watch that I found at a yard sale several years ago. It has Count Dooku on it and also Yoda. I want you to know that I really love Star Wars. As you can see by my Star Wars Holiday Special animated Boba Fett Funko Pop. I really love Star Wars, and I want you to know that, as you can see by my set of Kylo Ren, my Lego set of Kylo Ren's Starfighter from The Force Awakens. I love Star Wars. I really do. This thing's dusty. I have not touched it. Oh, and I also love Star Wars, as you can see by this pack of stickers with Jar Jar Binks and other family-friendly characters from the hit movie Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, which came out in 1999. I love Star Wars, really. I do. And again, look, if you're watching this several years in the future, and I have long since made a scripted video for every Star Wars movie, you can skip this one because I'm not going to say anything new. But here's the thing, I really wanted to like this movie, and all of Disney Star Wars. I eventually will probably talk about Clone Wars. I'll definitely do a video for season 7. Which I need to get caught up on because I was trying to rewatch the original Clone Wars series all the way through, and I haven't even finished, so I haven't started on season 7 yet. Please don't spoil me. So probably once I watch season 7, once it's all finished, I'll do a video about the whole thing. But I liked The Force Awakens. I really did. It wasn't perfect, but it's up there in my favorite. If I had to rank my Star Wars movies, it'd be relatively high up there. It's not a bad movie. It leaves a lot open for sequels. Not talking about Rogue One or Solo. Again, those will get their own videos. Last Jedi, you might not be able to tell by my Praetorian Guard Funko Pop. I really need to unpack my room. I've been living in this house for over a year, and it is still a mess. There are still several boxes sitting on the floor here. I'm a mess. But that's not important. I mean, it probably is if you live with me, but again, I did not. I got that as a gift. That was my point. Is that I didn't like The Last Jedi. I thought it was a bad movie. I didn't, and I really was hoping. All right, Last Jedi wasn't that good. It's probably my least favorite Star Wars movie. Again, if I had to rank them all, which maybe that'll be a video too. Ooh. But that one, Last Jedi, is bottom tier. It's just not fun. Not in a good way. Maybe if you're not a huge Star Wars fan, it's fun, and you're not invested in the characters and the story and the world, then yeah, sure, it's probably fun. But not for me, no. And again, I'm not, I made sure I wore to wear my Baby Yoda shirt to show that I'm not just a blind hater of Disney Star Wars. I'm really not. Like I said, I liked The Force Awakens. I liked both, Rogue One is, but I liked Solo as well, and I didn't like The Last Jedi. Now that we're almost 5 minutes into this video about The Rise of Skywalker, let's actually talk about The Rise of Skywalker. this movie just sucks, man. It just hurts to watch. You know, the reason why it took me so long to get this video out is because I was just dreading getting to it, you know? I didn't want to watch this movie. Because, like I said, The Force Awakens, great foundation. Again, not a perfect movie on its own, but it is a really good foundation for the 2 sequels. However, Disney decided, all right, so we're going to make 3 movies. Let's make them be written by 3 different people, and we're not going to let them talk to each other. They probably did. I'm being an ass. But why would you, in a linear story, you know, it's like a line. It's a straight line. Why would you give different chunks of it to 3 different people and tell them to do whatever the hell they want? And then, instead of just committing to that, I've heard the Rise of Skywalker get compared to one of those like creative writing type of things, or like a game of telephone or something similar to that, where like you do that thing where like someone writes a sentence and then someone else writes a sentence and then a third person writes a sentence and you're like telling a story. I've seen The Last Jedi and then with The Rise of Skywalker. I get these stupid movies mixed up. It's like J.J. Abrams wrote a sentence and he expected it to go in a certain way. He gave enough build-up for it to go a certain way, you know? And it makes sense. Rian Johnson did whatever the hell he wanted. But then J.J. Abrams, instead of just like going with what Rian Johnson said, you know, like a mature adult, he just said, you know what? I'm going to rip it back, and instead of letting the third guy do what he wanted, I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm going to do what I originally wanted to do. That's not how the game works. You can't... Again, I hate The Last Jedi, but the movie still came out. It's still canon. It still happened. You can't just take the plot points that were brought up in the movie and then act like they are full of shit. The best example of this is Rey and her backstory. Also, spoilers, of course. Why are you watching a Star Wars video if you haven't even seen the movies? Like, I don't know, whatever. I gotta give a spoiler warning, but like let's think about Rey. You know, we have Rey. Her backstory is she's nobody. Kylo says, "No, you're nothing. You stink." And she's like, "No, that's not true." And he says, "Yes, it is." And then they end it. And it's like, okay, all right, so Rey's backstory is that her parents were nobodies. All right, fine. You know, that's not really where I would have taken it. You know, I would have gone with some BS about how she's Luke's daughter or like a Palpatine clone or some bullshit. I was in deep on those theories, don't get me wrong. Not what I would have done. Not a huge fan of that change. It's not one of the reasons why I hate the movie. Of course not. Like, why would you hate a movie just because it was written slightly different from how you would have written it? Like, that's stupid. That's childish and immature. If that was my main complaint about The Last Jedi, this would be filmed vertically in my pickup truck and I'd be wearing a MAGA hat. But the closest thing I have to that is my Cappy hat. So, which, again, to show that I'm a big Star Wars fan, Cappy, I have my phone sitting on a shelf as I film this. Cappy was sitting on top of a Darth Vader piggy bank, okay? So now that I look the part of someone who's going to film a video on their phone and complain about Star Wars, why would you change it? That's fine. Again, I'm not a fan of the Rey being nobody idea on paper, but you know, let's see where they go with it. I mean, it's not bad. It's not inherently a bad idea. They just don't... But then, again, JJ has to rip it back. No, she's Palpatine's granddaughter. Why? Just keep it the way I liked her being nobody. That's fine. Or I didn't like it, but I was okay with it. I gotta take this off. It's too hot in here with that on. I don't get it, you know? Again, I just want a good movie, you know? Let's talk about some positives, because there is some positives, you know? I have to say the writing, like the dialogue in this movie, I mean, I know before the movie came out, they showed the clip of them everyone on the speeder chase on Pisana, and there's like the "they fly now" line, and that's stupid and worth making fun of. But like, other than that, it's a decently funny movie. Like I laughed more times than I thought I would watching this movie, which was funny in itself. You know, it's not a bad again dialogue wise, it's not a badly written movie, and that's what Star Wars does. Is most of the humor comes from the dialogue between the characters, how they interact with each other. But I don't know. What else was good about this movie? Oh, you know what? Watching it in the theater, when they're on Pisana, that when the stormtrooper stops him and he gets an arrow in his eyeball, I knew it. I knew immediately. I'm like, oh, is that Lando? Is that gonna be Lando? Because I love Lando. Lando's like one of my favorite characters. He's so cool. So you know, then seeing him when they get into his tank and he takes the thing off. I gotta stop messing with my hair while making these videos. Hopefully you're just watching this video, you just have it on in the background and you're doing something else, like playing a video game like Fortnite, which we're gonna that's a great segue because again, as much as I love Lando being in this movie, I hate Palpatine being in this movie. And you know what I hate even more than Palpatine being in this movie? I hate the way they integrated him. Yes, that's a great idea. Let's have the inciting... Here, all right. You remember in like middle school English class when you're learning about the pyramid or whatever for how a story is supposed to progress? You know, you have your beginning, you have your rising action, you have your point of blah, blah, blah whatever, the big climax, I think they called it. Then you have the falling action, and then you have the whatever. Or you have like there's the ways that you like structure a story. And remember what an inciting incident is, kiddos? It's the thing that starts the plot. Why is the inciting incident of the plot in Fortnite? I like Fortnite, don't get me wrong. I think it gets a lot of hate for being, hey, it's a stupid kids game. But you know, it's fun. I still play it. I mean, I don't love it. But yeah, it's all right. And don't get me wrong, I was watching the Game Awards and I saw, they're doing a Star Wars Rise of Skywalker thing in Fortnite, that's awesome! I'm like, me and my younger brother and my cousin, both of them are 13, so that's a little weird being, I was 18 at the time, I've recently had a birthday. Being an 18-year-old playing Fortnite with two 13-year-old family members, you know, it's a little odd. But we all had fun and we all like tried to get on at the same time and we all got in a party together to watch the scene and stuff. And it was a really cool experience. It was fun, don't get me wrong. Again, though, but during that, you hear Palpatine's message that he's supposed to give out. The one that they talk about in the crawl of the movie. Again, I ask, why is the inciting incident of the plot in Fortnite and not the actual movie? That's stupid. If it was in both, that'd be fine. Also, does this mean that Fortnite is canon in Star Wars? Because I'm okay with that. It's just so stupid. Who thought that was a good idea? Look, this movie is like at 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's way too long for the amount of shit that they shove in it. Or it's not long enough for the amount of shit they shove in it. They could have cut a lot out. This movie needed to be edited down. There's no reason why we had to go to 15 planets and do a million things. And also, this movie has no sense of scale. Like, I'm getting really passionate about this because, again, I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. Also, I liked The Mandalorian. I didn't mention that, but I really liked The Mandalorian. Now, I lost my train of thought because this movie gives me a brain aneurysm. This brain gives me a movie aneurysm. This movie has no sense of scale. Like, let's just take, and I'll probably link to like one of Eckhart's Ladder's videos where he's talking about this because he actually scripts his videos and can actually, you know, explain things better than I can. So, the Star Destroyers that Palpatine made, not using the Star Forge or some bullshit from the expanded universe. No, he just made them. That's fine. He was in the He was laying in a hole for 30 years. He can do whatever the hell he wants. He's Palpatine. I'm gonna throw up. So the Zeistons, the Star Destroyers, whatever the hell they're called, the ones with the big gun on the end. The big gun on the end. They're supposed to be huge. But they don't all... They didn't put any thought into making them bigger than a normal Star Destroyer. They just scaled them up. Why? But you didn't put any thought into it. So all of the windows are still like scaled up. So the windows on the ship should be huge, and the inside of the ship should be huge. Oh, the people should be tiny. Again, it's a lot of the dumb shit that didn't have thought put into it. That's like an expanded universe that's talked about in the novelization and shit. Whatever, I don't care. It just doesn't make sense. And again, I want to like this movie, but they keep doing dumb things. Like, why at the end of the movie does Rey bring Luke and Leia's lightsabers back to Tatooine? Leia was never on Tatooine. No, she was. One time. And you know what she was doing? Well, first, she had to disguise herself as a bounty hunter to break her boyfriend out of gangster jail. And then she got captured by the gangster and was forced to wear a fucking metal bikini during his party or whatever. I don't think Leia liked that. Understandably. Why would you, like, bury your memorial to her on a planet where she was basically a slave? I mean, in Lego Star Wars, that's what they call that outfit for Leia. They call it the slave Leia. Or they might have formatted it as Leia and then in parentheses, slave. That's stupid. Same with Luke. Now, Luke, it makes a little more sense because, he actually lived there. But he hated living there. And it wasn't... And his father was a slave. That was why he was put there. Aside from the fact that, yes, he did have family there. But because Vader wouldn't go there because it's pretty important in my, of course, favorite movie. That's a joke. Again, I will make a ranking for all the Star Wars movies. But Attack of the Clones was at the bottom. It was only beaten out by The Last Jedi. Anakin hates sand because I don't know if you've noticed, but it's coarse, rough, irritating, and it gets everywhere. And you see that because like the Lars homestead is buried, which like that was a cool moment. And if you wanted to have that moment, that's fine and that's interesting. You see how over the course of time, this iconic location has just been taken away, by the sands of time, if we were to be symbolic, which Star Wars is all symbolism, so yeah. But why? Was it just so you could end the movie with Rey having her twin sons moment with BB-8? Because that's fine, but don't. You could have had it be on... I think this movie should have ended instead with Broom Boy from the end of Last Jedi. Show Rey not just burying the old people, but starting something new. Give this movie a reason to exist. Show us the change. Like, show us Rey on Canto Bight picking up the kid, and then maybe it's in the future. Maybe like do some digital shit and age her up. And show her and a bunch of other students, maybe like Finn and what's the girl who's also a stormtrooper, but like her and all the other stormtroopers that defected, have them like be here and like are learning to be Jedi, because we know that they can all feel the Force, which again that feels kind of weird because. Which that as a like show them all on like Yavin 4. That would have been so much better. That would have made more sense. But they don't. They just show her burying the past or some bullshit. And also taking the Skywalker name, which, again, that defeats the purpose, you know? The whole point of that twist in The Last Jedi, again, as much as I hate The Last Jedi, I can see the purpose, you know? And I do agree with it, you know? They're trying to go for like oh, your name and your heritage, they don't mean anything. And you want to have that for a main character, because I mean, you kind of see that message with like Han, because he doesn't have anyone. Solo is a name that gets made up for him. That's, you know, but you know, you want it for Rey. Fine, that's fine. Again, I'm not super thrilled about it, but sure, I can respect it and I can appreciate it. But it doesn't go anywhere, you know? And I really wish it did. The reason why it doesn't go anywhere is because then her being a Palpatine, then it stops being, oh, well, it doesn't matter that you're nobody because you can still be great. It doesn't matter that you're related to someone or that you're not related to anyone. But then they make her related to someone, and then the message changes to, oh, well, it doesn't matter that you're related to someone evil because you can still do good. It doesn't matter what your name is. But then she takes the name of the good guys, so it doesn't... So... What's the point? She should have, when the old lady asks her what her name is, she should have just said Rey. Just Rey. And I think they could have changed the scene earlier in the movie on Pisano when the kid asks her what her name is. And she's like, oh, just Rey. Maybe have a moment, just linger on that for a couple seconds where she feels kind of, you know, like, oh, you know, like she doesn't really feel like she has her place as much. But then at the end, when she's confident about it and says, just Rey, and she's happier, that would have been much more impactful. This video is almost already as long as the Final Fantasy video. I'm so sorry. Another small thing I want to talk about is, I don't know. I don't actually have anything, I don't think. Just this movie kind of disappoints me. Again, I probably will make a ranking, so I don't want to say what my ranking is, because I'll just make that its own video and I'll talk about it more there anyway. But this one is bottom 3. I'll say what my bottom 3 are. The Last Jedi is bottom, then Attack of the Clones, then this movie. And it just really hurts, because this movie could have been a lot better. I really wish we got Colin Trevorrow. Is that how you pronounce his names? I wish we got his version of the movie, because I think that would have made much more sense. I do want to, I say plug, this video is going to get like 2 views. And there's this guy on YouTube who recently, his name's like Unique Memesaurus or something. I don't know what his name is, but I've been watching his content for a while, so I probably should. He made his own version of the entire sequel trilogy. He kind of rewrote it and kept like the same like general like outline. It's not perfect, not exactly what I would have done, of course. But it is worth a watch. I'll probably link that in the description as well. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this one. Again, the list of movies and shows that I want to talk about in this series has expanded. So I'll probably... I don't know what I'm going to get to next. I keep telling myself I'm going to do Into the Spider-Verse next. But I'm thinking about doing a Disney movie, you know, maybe Cars 3. Cars 3 or maybe like Frozen 2. Or one of the Disney movies that I've not been caught up on. Because I usually try to watch all the Disney movies, all the animated ones. I don't know, either Cars 3, because I missed that one, or Into the Spider-Verse. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave that one. If you want to, you know, tell me what you think about the movie. I love having discussions, especially about Star Wars. Again, I love Star Wars. Let me see if I can find something else that's Star Wars related. Oh yes, my deluxe edition box for Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens, which I pre-ordered so I could get my Lego Finn Stormtrooper minifigure, which I don't know where it is, but I have it. I know I haven't lost it. It's probably just in a box because my room is a mess, and there's a reason why you're only seeing the half that looks okay. There's a reason why you only see my TV, my door, and my closet. And all that, you can see a fan there. and also my window. You can't see anything lower, okay? You can't see the shelf that my phone is sitting on so I can film this. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there. 25 minutes is a decent chunk of time to be talking about a movie without a script, without it being podcast style or discussion style where I have someone to jump off of, so that's nice. There's probably going to be other videos. I'll make a playlist with this whole series in it. If you see another movie that I've talked about that you think is interesting, give it a watch. You might have an opinion you want to share, or I might make you think something else. So what's all the YouTube things I'm supposed to say? Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I think I covered the comment part. Hit the bell. I don't know. Hit the bell so you watch my videos, because I don't know how to tag them because YouTube's broken. Or maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. But yeah, I think I'm going to end it here. Again, next video probably going to be Spider-Verse or Cars 3. And hopefully it won't be a week before it comes out. Probably within the next week, you know? Because my Advent Children video came out on last Friday, and now this is Sunday, so hopefully it won't be over a week before the next one comes out, but we'll see. Depends on when I watch movies, and like, I'm not gonna watch it. I live with 2 other people, so it's like, hey, do you want to watch Cars 3? Oh yeah, so don't wait until I can watch it too, you know? It's like that kind of thing. But yeah, so I will see you when I talk about either Cars 3 or Into the Spider-Verse.